Welcome to Real 45 with Stefan and Greg Hancock. We vibe out and have real talk, so tune in and check this out. Yeah, today is a new day. Let's seize it now and get hype. We talking about our careers, our family, and just life. Yeah, share my story with you. Inspiration like every day. Real 45, we gon' keep it live. I keep episodes on replay. Hey, Real 45. Yeah, Real 45. Show them how we do it, man. Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Real 45 podcast, another epic episode. I'm Greg Hancock with Stefan Janelle. Welcome, Stefan. Great to see you again.
Thank you. Great to see you again. We see each other, actually.
Yeah, we're actually looking at each other. Yeah, so we are seeing you again.
Yeah.
I see you.
That's true. I see you.
Well, we're back for another great week. Feels like the weeks just fly by, man. I don't know about you, but I know you have a much more solid schedule than I do. But how you been?
Yeah, it's just been crazy. I don't know why, but everything happens in the spring, I think. In school, they have everything. They have these tests, and we have a new school for one of our daughters, and at work, everybody wants everything done before summer, and it just happens.
It's springtime, right? Spring forward.
Yeah, and you're out traveling all the time, I see.
Yeah, I've been a little bit here, there, and everywhere, and it's been kind of an eventful week. It was not to drag it on and discuss it, but simple. I was in Poland last week for the Speedway Best Pairs. And we had a little bit of, then we had a day off. The Speedway Best Pairs went okay. We finished third again, the monster team, and didn't pan out the way it was supposed to, and the way we anticipated. It's I guess
always
it's crazy. Yeah, that's right. So I had quite a week there, and I missed one heat. I got the wrong helmet color on and got excluded because I looked at the program wrong. And I'm getting old, man. I just don't even know what I'm doing anymore.
You need these glasses.
I need glasses. I need people to coach me on how to do things like what to say, how to say it.
To all of us,
point across right, because it always comes out wrong, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, it was that, and then I went to. We had a league match, our second league match of the year for Rzeszów on Sunday in Poznan, away race this time. Everything looking great. Went there, track looked beautiful, track walk. We were all set to go, and went to put my clothes on, change into my riding gear, and they came over and said, you can't race today. Why is that?
Huh?
Yeah, I couldn't race.
Why?
Every rider has a doctor's certificate signed by the club doctor. He has to check out all your paperwork you get for your licenses, and then you pay some money for this guy to basically give you the clearance that you're healthy and you're okay to ride. So all the riders get the same. It's the same every year, and the doctor signs his name and dates it and puts the stamp on it. And lo and behold, it got missed in the first round, but the second round, the referee noticed that he had signed it and dated it, but it was 2017.
Oh.
So something as simple, basically, I mean, something as simple as that, you would think, oh, we just changed the date, everything's cool. The doctor was there too.
Huh?
No, that's not the case. You don't just change the date under the rules and regulations. The doctor didn't have this correct doctor's authority stamp with him, so they don't accept it, and basically said, you don't ride. The paperwork's incorrect. But I rode last week.
Even if the doctor is in place,
Yep.
You have the actual document, just a number wrong on it.
Yeah.
And he has his identification with him. It's the same guy.
Yep.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. I am proof of that.
Oh, shit. That's hard.
It's pretty brutal. And, the referee, he understands too. He's got to follow procedures. He's like, his job's on the line too if he doesn't follow protocol.
Oh
but
yeah, of
the
course.
doctor's there and he's got everything and he's like, just change it. But he didn't have his boom, the real stamp that says I'm a sports doctor. But the other club allegedly had their doctor there. He could have done it. But
he could have done it.
Yeah.
But he hasn't seen you naked yet.
Maybe not. I wouldn't want that.
No.
That would scare me. It scared me a lot.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He, it's sport, right? And you can see the look on their face. It's like, sorry.
Shit.
So I didn't get to ride, and I hung out in the pits and helped the riders all day, and kind of just gave some words of wisdom and advice, and watched the track, and was with them as a team. But I felt really, really embarrassed, and really, so it's been one of them weeks.
Yeah. Oh shit! I can see that. I have a present for the doctor. We need to buy one of those neck bands, so you can put his stamp in, so you have it with him all the time.
Oh, so he could just be. That would be just like. Yeah, he could just pull it out of his hat like magic. Well, bam!
Like magic!
Like magic.
Speaking about magic, you've been done something else this week, huh?
I have been. Excuse me, I have been. Speaking of magic, I just walked us into the magic. I flew to Poland the other day, and I went to Wrocław, the hometown city of the famous Maciej Janowski, who many of you know is a great friend of mine. I have a lot of respect for him. I've somewhat tutored him and tried to give him a few tricks to improve his magic and help his magic to be a little bit more simplified over the years. And can't say, the kid's turned into an amazing individual, a person, an athlete, a speedway rider, and just an all-around amazing person. So he's great. I have so much respect for him, and he's like my kid. He's like my little brother. He's a brother to my kids. He's just the best uncle anybody could ever ask for. Kind of, he's a little everything. So he's a magic man.
Ah, that's cool.
So I got
he's magic with a mic too, I heard.
He was magic with a mic. Yeah.
Everybody's not born to talk to a mic.
No,
it's kind of hard in the beginning.
You're right. Like we said last week when I met up with Magnus. The same. He was so nervous that it's like when that microphone gets on the table, that you can see it's like, and they hear their voice. They don't want to hear their voice.
No.
So I told Magic this about Magnus, and he was like, I'm not using the earphones. I don't want to hear my voice. I'm like, really? He goes, yep, I don't want to use them. Okay, no problem. And he was like, all right, let's just do this. Okay, boom, hit record. And he just took off, flowed. It just went. He's such a natural with the mic, and to hear him speak, like to tell the story. There's things we kind of went back, and he elaborated on so much of his childhood, and I didn't realize how early he had actually started before we even met him. So he tells it, and we even went a little bit further into the situation or the. Our relationship and friendship and speedway as it is today, and we kind of touched on a few similarities or deep feelings about the sport, how we feel it's going today, and what we would like to see different. So, you've always got to be careful not to overstep your boundaries and say what's correct and politically correct or diplomatic and things like that. And sometimes we do it wrong, but he was good, man. He's the magic man.
Nice. Everybody should listen to this then. I don't know.
You can't find the word?
No. It just went out to the other ear, You just had a thought that you just pop.
When I pressed stop on the recording when we were doing it, I was like, man, that was so fun. It was so cool. Maciej, and thank you for the time. I think he had as much fun as doing it as that I did, and then he realized too what it was all about. It really was a blast. You can just be yourself, and he
That
was
is
truly
so
in
cool.
love. So I've already listened to it 1.5 times just to rehear it and get a good feel for it. So
That is great. And the thing is that when you have a friend or like that, you don't ask that kind of questions and don't have that moment with people. So the
and
mic is magic in that way too.
you know what? Yeah, you make your own magic sometimes, right?
True.
So that's pretty true. The mic can bring everything out in you. So when we breast out our blue microphones now, we need to like rub them like it's a genie in a bottle, and we just go bam.
Oh, bam! There you got it.
We got magic.
What was that?
So let's say, hey, man, this episode is partnered up with our good friends from Titans of Dirt. Check out their new webpage, titansofdirtextreme.com. Like them, share them, comment, and be sure to follow us on Instagram, on social media, on Facebook. We have our Real 45 podcast Facebook. We have at Real 45 Instagram, and share us, like us, check us out on Podbean, iTunes, and Acast. Throw us a comment. So other than that, Stefan, you got anything else you want to say?
It will be an awesome episode next week too. So
Ooh,
just listen up with this one, and you will hear about us more later.
we're gonna thank already. We're gonna thank our new friends from Rzeszów Airport and Lot Polish Airlines for the podcast that's coming next week. You won't be disappointed. This is going to be amazing.
It's gonna be awesome.
Let's make some magic.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Bye.
Man. See ya.
You too. Yeah.
Well, I'm honored, like more than honored. This is probably one of the guests that I've really, really strongly been waiting to have on the show. And I'm really stoked that we've managed to make this happen. So, Maciej Janowski, Magic.
What's up?
Welcome, dude, to the Real 45 podcast. What's up with you? It's more like it.
Not much. The same thing, like always, racing in a circle, and not much. Just focus on the life.
Dude, you've always been an inspiration to me, even as a kid. I'm not going to sit here and blow you up too much, but I'll do my best not to. But sometimes I can't help it. So everybody knows we've got a pretty long-lasting friendship, and from the time you were very young when Rafal, my mechanic, lead mechanic and great, one of my best friends ever, brought you to the party.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's pretty cool, when I look back on it and I think how young you were, which you were probably like
13
years old when we first really...
Like yeah.
And look at you now, you're 26.
Oh, yeah.
Going to be 27 this year. I still talk to you, and I got to remember, you're not 13 anymore. And,
it's crazy.
Especially when we line up at a GP, handlebar to handlebar, and looking over and I'm thinking, he's probably not going to let me win this heat.
That's crazy, like you said, because when I was younger, like I already tell you this 100 times, I was looking to you and Sam Ermolenko, like for big stars, and I was always try to follow you guys and watch everything what you do, like what you wear and everything,
Sam Ermolenko too?
Yeah, too. When I was really young, and and we was like racing with my brothers around the table. I was Sam Ermolenko because of his helmet, I think so, and he had something on the top of the helmet. I think that was something. Yeah, I remember when I was like really young and very small, Sam Ermolenko, but then I turned to be Greg Hancock on my bike, and everything like around the speedway. even if I challenge with my brothers and someone says, okay, so I'm Greg Hancock today, I was like, okay, so I'm not playing. I'm Greg Hancock.
That's my boy right there.
Yeah, so yeah, that's funny. Like,
There's only one Greg Hancock.
yeah, how dreams come true, you know. And then I meet you, and Raf, and yeah, that's pretty funny story.
So you guys were playing speedway with the little bikes around the table, or were you racing?
No, it was like running.
You're running racing.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is really serious.
Yeah, you know, that's no brakes, dude. No brakes.
Of course not. That's you were destined to be a speedway rider. I can see that.
Yeah.
So who were your brothers? Who did they play?
Oh, I didn't remember now, but
Okay, I didn't know if there was like some that just stood out more than others. So
no, not really. They changed a lot. They changed riders.
They had to.
Yeah.
So I can see, knowing you guys now, you know, you got 3 brothers, right?
Yeah. 2 brothers.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's 3 brothers. Yeah, 2 brothers. Three in the family, 3 boys. And I make jokes about this with your dad today. So the cool thing for everybody, Maciek's dad, Piotrek, and I share the same birth date, June the 3rd. Can't really say it's the same year, but I am old enough to be Maciek's dad. You know, he could be my son, theoretically. And I'm not sure if Piotrek knows this or not, but... You know. But these guys, Piotrek and I, have fun because he has 3 boys. I have 3 boys, so I constantly kind of look at the 3 of you guys, and I see the good times, the hard times.
Yeah.
See the time. Yeah. That the good thing is your dad's English isn't very good, so you won't have to listen to this.
That's true.
Yeah, come back so I can say what I want now.
Yeah.
Really, but it's really fun because you know you see the resemblances in the lifestyle, but you can see. Your dad wants nothing but the best for you guys, right? And he wants you to make the right decisions and do the right thing. But in the end, he did everything he needed to do. And once you guys turned 18, you're going to do it your way. And he's still trying to steer you in the direction that he would really like you to go. And in this world, that's not so easy.
Yeah, that's true. Like it says, we're not kids anymore. We have we all have own lives. So of course he want to protect us probably
More than anything.
yeah
Right?
And probably if someone try to do some bad to me, he will kill this guy.
Yeah.
So
Without batting an eye.
yeah, so he really tried to make our lives maybe more easy, and but you know, sometimes when he tried too much, it's not so good too. So sometimes I try to understand him, but most of the time I try to show him I'm grown man and I know what I want to do in my life, and what is my plan, and he do his own job.
Right.
And now is my time, and of course I listen him a lot and I speak with him a lot. My parents, they very important for me in my life, and my brother also. So of course I always listen them, but on the end of the day I do anything what I want. Yeah. So,
You do. Yeah, you do.
So yeah.
So you want to show your dad too that you are a grown man. Of course, he knows that, but in the end, I'm going to make my own decisions. I'm going to do it this way, whether you like it or not. You can either hang with me,
That's true, yeah.
or you can hang with me
Yeah.
in that way. But like your mom, okay, she's grown up. Like your brothers you guys are all so different.
Yeah, that's true.
All 3 of you, completely different. Yet you're all 3 Janowskis, and your mom's got the 3 of you, and then she's got your dad to deal with too.
Yeah.
Right. So 4 guys in her life, and talk about having the rock in the family, right? That,
Yeah. I don't know how she handled that. You know, actually,
still today.
Actually, when I think about my young age, and I know I was not easy kid. You know.
Really?
Even in school, I always was looking for some troubles, you know.
Were you really? You were the kid that got in trouble at
yeah.
school? I know you've told me some stuff, but
Yeah. Oh, you can ask my teachers. They don't remember me like like an easy kid. So
we can save that for another podcast. We can get your teachers on.
yeah. Yeah, but like sport changed me a lot. Like hard job, like all the hours in the workshop, on the trainings. This changed me a lot. Like show me right direction in the life and right things. So I'm glad I started doing this.
Just you said in sport, but you're referring to speedway in this. But in school, or if we back up even further, you as an like a real young kid, an adolescent. Were you really into soccer, football? Were you into some sort of basketball? Or I know how you are today, and I don't want to give it up. But this dude is pretty talented and just about everything he does. It might take him a couple of minutes, but you can see if somebody brings something to the table, the look in his eye when he's checking it out and he's watching somebody do a demonstration, and you can see, like, I can physically see it in you. You can just see that you got the balance in the way your body movements are, and the way it's like he's figuring it out. And it might take him a couple of steps or a couple of minutes, but suddenly, man, he picks things up. I think you really pick things up very, very fast. You have a good feel for balance, for coordination, eye hand or eye foot, hand foot, eye foot.
Maybe because like you said, from the young age, for me the most important was sport. Forget about the books, everything. My mother always was screaming to me because of this, but the most important for me was like sport, like football, what I can do some competition where I can try myself with the different kids, and that was for me the most important. And I try a lot of sports like football, basketball, judo, karate, and lot of things. Like I was running and everything. I was like skateboarding, on BMX. So I tried a lot of things till I try first time ride on the bike. When I first time ride on the bike, I knew from really young age. That's my point. This is what I want to do for rest of my, I don't know, maybe not rest of my life, because
yeah,
it would be hard, but that was my plan for the future. For
You're
sure.
trying to say I'm only 47. I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah.
But did you ride a moped or a regular, like a motocross bike or some sort of other kind of motorcycle before you rode speedway?
I never tried race on motocross bike before I start on speedway. I was racing on some old bikes, in our family we never have like big chance to buy something like that, because we have 3 boys. My father have some small I almost said small sausage.
We'll do another interview with your mom about that later.
Yeah, they have like some small shop. So in our family we never have some like big money, so they need to be smart how to to spend the money, and but I was always this kind of kid to find some small job, get money from someone, keep this money, and like getting more and more, and then buy something, And like you said before, my brothers, they completely different, because when they get some money, they go straight to the shop and buy some candy. I was holding, hand, give money, so I need to put under my clothes or something like that.
See, your brothers didn't steal it.
Yeah, we have like same room, with 3 boys, so it was not easy. But Yeah. So I never have chance till I start on racing on speedway bike to race on motocross, but my father, he always tried find something what give us fun. So yeah, so we found some old bike, what we repaired a little bit, and I was racing around my house.
Sweet. So I can understand now why, one other reason why Raf took to you too, because saving every penny that you can and building up to it, don't waste it on silly things and keep yourself hungry. We all know how Raf goes.
Yeah.
And we always talk about the Raf school, or the, as he refers to it, the high school.
High school.
So we have a lot of fun with it, but you had to fight for all that. I can understand now that your parents, they gotta share what they've got with what they've got. But going into speedway cold turkey, really, without ever riding a motorcycle. I've heard stories about these kind of things in Poland. Raf's told me a lot of stories about how kids come in. They've never ridden anything. They basically put them on the bike and put the kill switch on them and turn them loose, sure, in a sense. And you think, how could you do that? Yeah. But they just want to see, do they have the general feeling? I can understand how you would have had it, but that's a hard school.
Yeah, it's not easy on the beginning. Yeah, especially maybe now it's a little bit better because we have like some school, like some speedway schools in the club, or you can find some small tracks. But on the beginning, the most important in Wrocław was like first team. Yes, and they was not thinking a lot of juniors to get some, like to grow some junior, or like to make some junior. I mean, yeah.
I gotcha. Yeah.
So beginning was really hard because all the money what my parents make after 1 year when I start racing, when I start training, they put everything, every money to speedway. So my brothers, they don't get anything.
They got robbed.
Yeah. And my fathers decide to put everything for speedway. Everything means not big money, but everything what they can. And on our way, we met some good people and some not so good people. So some of the people try use that we don't know anything about the sport. We don't know anyone from this sport. So I was buying some old chains for like crazy money, like half price or something like that, and that they probably get like for free from some old riders. Yeah.
Right.
So the beginning was not so easy, but then I was so lucky because I met Raf, then I helped him, and I met you. So I also get a lot of some old stuff, like old parts from you guys. So that was also such a big luck for me and big help. So yeah.
So how old were you then when you really got on the bike the first time, or got on a bike? And was that a 500 then?
Yeah, actually first time I was racing on really small bike, but this is not even close to like speedway bike. Yeah. But that was on small track near to Wrocław. But then
what size bike was that?
I think that was like 50, something like that.
So okay,
that was really small.
Bike.
Yeah,
okay.
Very small bike. That was just for fun,
Yeah.
That was something. That was more to be on a small speedway track than race on speedway bike,
Got it.
So yeah, but then we met some people and they let us try on bigger bike, and yeah, straight when I start first time, you know, that was like my handbar was like shaking everything, but I have like huge smile, and I was really small kid for a long time. So nobody want to give me big bike. My brother was racing more, and he already start doing some turns, and I was like sitting in the pit and so angry because I want to do this. I want to do this, you know, but they were like keeping me a little bit away. But yeah, one day this happened and it's still going.
Were you guys watching Speedway in Wrocław in that period on a regular basis? Or were you going to all the matches just to watch? So you guys are Speedway fans anyway.
Yeah, actually, my father take me to the Speedway track when I was 1.5.
Oh, it's okay. So he was a fan from...
So yeah. So I grew up on the stadium, you know, from really young age. Yeah.
So you got it in the blood.
Yeah. So
Even
when
younger,
I was when you was racing in Wrocław, and when you go to toilet, and you pass the crowd on the right side, I was standing there and I was screaming, "Greg, Greg!"
So this is like anywhere from 98 onwards, right? 1998. And you're born in what year?
91.
91. Put that into perspective, people, you know?
That's crazy.
It is really crazy. When we think back on it now, you just go, I can't believe where the years have gone, you know, obviously in my career, but looking back on all this now, and then I hear all the stories.
Yeah.
And listening to how, you know, the day that I first remember Raf talking about this young kid in Wrocław, he's a really good kid, and I like him, I want to help him, you know, and his parents are pretty into it, and I think I'm going to help him out. And you'll like him, you have to meet him. I remember him saying something like that. So that was cool, because when I met you, you know, you were just like, you had that, you didn't say much. Of course, you didn't speak English then either. Yeah. But you had that shy, yet the grin on the face said it all. You know, you could see that, like, he was he didn't say anything. He just nodded his head and go on with it. And, you know, the years have evolved. Things have gone heavy, but I remember Raf saying, you know, we'll give him some parts, I'll help him out, give him some more used stuff, if it was chains or whatever. You had used some of my motocross gear, the Troy Lee gear that I was using, and
dude, I think I still have some of this gear.
Oh.
So you can imagine, like, it was for me, you're still for me like the biggest star in the sport. Oh, and when I
stop.
Yeah, before I met you, you know, I was like riding on my push bike, and I was saying I'm Greg Hancock. So if I have chance to, like, later I have a chance to get some motocross gear with Greg Hancock sign on my back, you can imagine what I was like thinking.
Now you're pumping me up. Oh man, you know, now you guys know why I wanted to have Maciej on this podcast. Yeah, right. But now this guy, you know, from the first time I met him, you know, Rafal brought him on one of his trips to come and see us, and I remember we gave him some gear, we gave him a few things, but some of that gear he would wear it out, you know, and whether it was a pair of boots or it was stuff, it was so old, getting so beat up and tatty. I'm like, Raf, we got to give him something more, because I had a lot of extra stuff laying around from a few of the years, you know, and high school.
Yeah.
Rafal High School. Rafal's last name is Haj, of course, for all you people, and he started making this joke, but it's really funny because he's, you know, a lot of people come to Raf for help and advice, and he's amazing for numbers of reasons, but he made a joke about the high school.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good joke.
It's a really good, it's a serious joke too. Yeah. But I remember him telling me, no, we can't give him too much. We have to keep him hungry. And I'm thinking, hungry? Dude, there's one thing to being hungry, and one thing to having some fresh vinyl or Kevlar or something covering his butt cheek when he crashes so he doesn't tear himself up. But you know, part of it, I think that high school is really tough, yet he's right. He was trying to install the right tools and the right...
That's true.
You don't bite the hand that feeds. You have to earn it, and you have to work for it. And
that's true. I'm really lucky to, you know, like I said before, to meet Raf and you, because I really believe he teach me a lot. You know, it's show me like right direction in life, like what I supposed to looking for, and how hard I supposed to look for each things. And you know, I was cleaning 2 bikes, and he was giving me like 1 Troy Lee t-shirt. So
man, that's a hard work.
You know, so but for me, I was just waiting to finish, you know, and get the new t-shirt. And I was like, for me, it's enough. Yeah, it was really good. But
was he real particular about how you had to clean the bike too?
He don't need to, because you know I was like, I always was looking a lot for my bikes, for everything. And when I was cleaning my bike, I know the screws was like long screws, and I always scratch my hands, and you know that was really hard job. But when I was cleaning your bikes, when everything was like perfect and fit, so for me it was like, you know, that was good. So but I believe that's really good way, because the kids need to understand how everything works, and how everything is expensive, and it's like nothing comes for free in the life. Yeah, you need to really hard work, whatever you're doing. Like if you sell some parts, or you're a speed rider, or if you're mechanic, doesn't matter. You need to really do good job and hard work to get some money, and everything costs a lot. So I still understand this, and even now when I'm older, I understand more, and I'm really happy this happened on this way.
The high school, I keep saying here, but like, yeah, it did shape you. I mean, you look at Raf, how he is, and you know how I am, and we are so different in so many ways.
Yeah.
And it's like a marriage, you know. I mean, it's my wife and I are completely different too, and we get along so well. And Raf and I are completely different, and we get along so well. And we argue, and we bicker, and you know, like, because he thinks one way, I think another, or I'm really unsure about something, and he's telling me, don't think so much, or don't do that, don't say too much, don't do it, you know, back and forth constantly. And in the end, I have so much respect, trust, faith in him, and I know that he has the same in me. So we would never overstep that, you know. And that honor system, which you have also gained, you just, when we're doing something together, we're doing it together, and till we're done.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And he's been really cool, and you've followed by that, and especially when he needed help driving to Sweden one time when you were 13 years old.
Yeah, but that was only like on 200 kilometers. So
did you drive that far?
Yeah, only to Stockholm. He says, "Okay, we need to change in Stockholm. Before we get to Stockholm, we need to change."
So this is like from Linköping to Stockholm, kind of.
Yeah, something like that.
200 Ks.
Yeah. But he also says I cannot cross 120 kilometers per hour. So, and he was really, like checking that, because I passed few times. Speed, like high speed limit.
High. Comes back to the high.
And he was like waking up like straight away, and was asking me, how fast you go? How fast? And I was like, okay, I'll slow down. So I was, that was pretty funny. He picked me up from my winter camp, my first winter camp, and take me for a really good trip to Sweden, where I drive first time as a kid, like 13 years old. 180 kilometers,
in a foreign country.
Yeah.
So if you get in trouble there, if the police stopped you for some reason,
Yeah.
you just roll the window down and say, "I don't speak Swedish,"
Yeah.
and you say it in Polish.
Yeah, because at this time I don't even say anything in English, so.
So for all of you out there that don't know, Raf, when he started working for me, this guy, someday he's going to be on the podcast. I got to get him to agree to do it and tell his whole story. I'll have to help tell it, but he didn't speak a word of English, but he worked hard. Yeah. And I mean, from the moment he took over working with us, when myself and Lars Larson made the deal with him he basically showed up at a race at a Grand Prix in Prague and helped us at the GP. He got his own way there. We gave him the keys to the van after the race and said, "See you tomorrow in Wrocław," or wherever we were. I can't remember the exact track. Maybe even Czestochowa or something. We showed up the next day. Both bikes were spit shine clean. The van was spotless inside and out. And he did this all on his own. And he traveled between Sweden and Poland and GPs by himself for so long.
Yeah.
And on this one particular trip when you came along. So he was giving you the high school, but mainly because he needed help. So he brought Maciej on a trip to Sweden when you were 13.
He's legend. Dude, he's legend, but he also...
it worked out.
Yeah, but he also passed a really hard school, yeah.
Sure.
And I think he know good things, he know things what you need to do to do right, yeah. Especially like I said, he have really hard beginning, and he used to race on speedway bike and on really hard time, and I'm glad he showed me right direction, because without him and the people around me will be hard to be in the same place what I am now, because when I was 14 till 18, I spent most of the time I spent with Raf. I forget about my old friends. Forget all the speedway stuff takes so much time.
Oh man.
And everything. I was 100% focus on this, whole my my whole time was workshop training. So but if you really want to do something, you don't even think about this. Yeah, I see this now when I'm older, and how much time I spend for this, but at this point when I was younger and I was looking to be speedway rider, I don't even think to go to play football with my friends, because I know I want to stay in the workshop and do my bike. So that's the way.
And you still have that kind of passion even after all these years. You're well into your career these days, and busy as can be.
Yeah.
With between the Swedish league, the Polish league, the World Championship, the World Team stuff, or Speedway of Nations as it is now, plus all your other things that you have to do as a Polish rider. You guys have a lot of demands, far more than any other country. Things that you are asked to do or need to do for your federation, and so you're a super busy guy. So spare time is not. It's not even a question, So I know why now when I look at the calendar you produced, when the picture, the holiday picture, when you get to October, it's pretty impressive, or November, whatever it was. But it's well deserved. But you and I we've watched you grow from this young kid, and as you started to make progress in your racing and your career and becoming a junior in the team in Wrocław, and then eventually graduating up to racing with us in Sweden as well. We rode together in Rospigana. in Sweden, and you've kind of we've fortunately been able to sort of steer you by taking you with us. You know, we think you should go here, and we just so happen to be there too. You know, it would be really good for you. And deep down, those were, I mean, they've become some of the best because we felt like we can look after you, but at the same time, we were growing with you because we're watching all the things we tried to help you with, but you're like a sponge. You know, you take it all in and you make it work. Whether might not do it the way we tell you to do, but you always try it. Yeah. And then you found your way, and that's what makes you what you are today.
Yeah, that's like I said before. Yeah, I was so lucky to have some people like next to me who show me the way. Yeah, because my father, he never raced on the speedway bike. He don't know anyone from speedway before, so was really hard to get any direction. What are we supposed to do? If I, when I started first time clean my bike, I put some plastic bag on the clutch, and that's why how I clean my bike. That was all what I do, what I covered. And then I started have a lot of crashes and everything because my bike was not ready to race.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't.
So, yeah, if someone like came from the street and want to race on the speedway bike, it's really hard. And that was our beginning. But like I said, then we met you guys, and you guys show us right direction what we're supposed to do, and all of these things with contracts and everything. We spoke a lot about this, and this is very, very important for the young riders also, because this is like business for a lot of people. This is like only business. For us this is life and
career.
And our career and our job. So you need to be careful.
You can say that again, and I think we've both been on that side of the fence, once or twice, and we learn every time. But like you say, you can imagine the same in any other sport. You're so vulnerable when you're young if you don't have somebody looking after you, and you hate to see it, but you have to kind of stay focused and have the people around that give you the tools and show you and help you. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but most of the time, if you can see something coming, you can avoid it.
Yeah, true.
And these days, the sport is getting so serious. It's professional contracts and stuff that we use. There's way more to it than just washing your bike and putting your suit on and going and racing. It's so much to think about, and so much to consider, and you got to have people around reminding you of the things you can do and you can't do and stuff, and it's they can wear you down, but we don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about how great it is to be speedway riders and where we are today. Otherwise, it's we want to continue to love our job. So, but we hope that things will be at a really good compromise in the future and keep growing, but at an equal level. So it's not too top heavy for one side and not the other. So
of course, because for us the most important is like, we start racing because we like speedway. Yeah, we like bikes. We like racing, and that's all why we start racing on speedway bikes. But like you said, now we have so many things around this. But hopefully one day some people will start understand that speedway for us is the most important. We want nobody from any club, nobody from any
higher up.
Nobody wants more. Nobody they care more about this speedway than we are. For us, that's the most important. So. I hope one day these people will understand that.
We all do, I think, and you can see now, and you get some of the other youngsters coming in, and you see some of the young junior riders coming in, and the pressure that some of those youngsters have today, even if you back up to some years back, wasn't that long ago that you were a junior in the team, and you remember the pressure you had, but the pressure today to be a junior is you have to be special to make it as a junior rider. It's they get pushed aside even quicker than they used to be because it's the demand for winning with, everything's going up like that. The demand for success is so high, and the demand for overall there's so many demands, and before you even get on the track, and once you get on the track, you want to win so bad, but the feeling of losing on the track sometimes these days can also have consequences that makes it really hard to be a good loser, and you're really trying hard to find the way forward, but it's tough out there, it's tough, and
the league is very strong.
Wow.
And it's no place to any mistake.
Yeah.
So for like juniors, they have really hard to but yeah, that's the way. If you can make it, then you can do everything,
If you've got the nerve,
yeah, that's true.
and you got to have the nerve and the ability, right? And then you got to have the equipment, and to have the equipment, you got to have the sponsors.
Yeah.
And it's the business, and
it's not easy. Like everything.
May the best man win. Like that. But going up, now you're getting to the level now where, Raf brought you to the States, or I should say you came together with Raf, your first trip to the States. I have to share this because I think this is back to the high school. You and Raf and Janusz Kołodziej. Well, what was it? Janowski, Haj, and Coco. As they were calling you guys for the flight.
Yeah, it was
Janowski,
a little bit late, and like I said before, only words what I know in English was Coca-Cola, maybe not Marlboro because I was too young, but
Marlboro, but that was Raf. He was probably smoking one.
Marlboro Raf. So yeah, but when I was in some shop, small kid in big world and nice shops, everything nice, so I was like walking in some shops and looked at some stuff, and I hear in the speakers, last call for passengers, Janowski, what I think, maybe this is not my name, my surname, pretty close. And the second one was Haj, and the third one was Coco. So
Coco.
That's two crazy surnames, but yeah.
How do they get?
Then I saw Raf running and try to find me, and that was funny. But finally we make it. So that's funny.
You made it. How did they get Coco from Kołodziej? Or Kołodziej? That was good.
I don't know. Maybe
didn't you want to try?
Maybe Janusz have some funny picture in his passport on his visa.
Oh gosh, that was cool. You guys came over to the U.S. for the was it U.S. against the world, right?
Yes. That was in Auburn. That was Fast Fridays.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was...
What an experience.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was so scared because I never raced on that small track before. And, I have my own bike at home. What I know, everything in this bike.
I know you're going with this.
So I came to the States for a really small track. They give me some bike, completely different bike than mine. So I was so scared, and Raf, he was already he already want to change the setups, everything. I was like, dude, wait, I go for first practice. I believe these guys have good setups because they race here and they know the track. So let me try, and we will see, okay? And yeah, after my first 2 laps, when I touched the fence maybe 3 times, I came to the fence and says to Raf, I will give I will give them. I will give my money back for the tickets, for everything. I just don't want to race tomorrow because I don't feel safe by my own. I don't know, like, if I have 3 different riders next to me, you know. I was super scared. So I was sitting and like thinking what happened now, because I come for such a long way. They want to see me on the track, but I was like, I don't see myself on this track, you know. But Raf came to me and says, easy, we changed setup now, and now it'll be okay. And next day, I think I scored like 14 points in 6 rides.
So Raf was right
Yeah,
again.
yeah. So he was right
Bastard.
again, and yeah, this is what happened. I was super cool.
Again, the high school, how he can pull that off, right? he manages to get everybody. You can just be stressed, and he just finds a way. And I hope that he's not stressed himself, because sometimes he rolls the dice, and we roll with him, and then in the end he goes, he's done this to me. He was like, I had no idea if that was going to be the right or the wrong thing to do. You're like, what? Then you laugh about it and go, okay, all right,
Yeah.
I trust you.
Yeah, like we say, Raf is amazing, but he's stressed too, because I was watching him a lot when you was racing, and when he changed something, and when you just go to the tape, 1 minute was enough for him to finish cigarette. So he was so quick, you know, like, and a little bit stressed too. So yeah. But he know a lot of things, a lot of tricks, a lot of, you know. He's really long in this sport, and yeah, and he's lucky boy, I think so. Like, I mean, yeah, he have something, you know.
Him and Mark just like, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He says he says that now he would give me some luck because I have his sticker on my
Of course.
on my silencer.
You
so,
just paid for your luck.
you know, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, but yeah, Rafi is a lucky boy.
Hey, it's okay. And he's, like you said, he's a huge memory bank. He's a book of knowledge when it comes to the sport. And we put a lot of trust in him. But in return, I think about it, some of the things that he does, the relationship that we all have, you have with him too, is we trust in what he does. And there can be a lot of people that come in that would try to do something crazy, and you're looking at him just going, no way.
Yeah.
And that, if you don't believe in the person that's working with you, it'll never work.
That's true.
So
yeah.
he has the faith in us. So he knows that he can do it and get away with it. And I've had some arguments with him after a heat and yelled and screamed at him. And he's gotten the old, sorry. And it doesn't happen very often. That's hardly, you can count the times.
I never see that.
No, I do it on the side. I don't ever do it in the pits. I wouldn't yell at him in the pits. If we have a discussion to take, we take it outside. Okay. We don't want to make a scene. And but honestly, it hasn't happened very often. But I think back sometimes, and of course he wouldn't do the same thing to someone else. But he knows that he can try it on us, and he knows that we might come back and go,
yeah,
what are you doing?
Yeah, but like you said, it's all about the trust.
Yeah.
He's like, for me, he's also such a big guy in the sport.
Yeah.
So in the speedway, so I believe for everything what he's, maybe not everything, but the most thing what he says, and
we run with his luck then.
yeah. Always, if I'm not sure, I think about his luck. So, but yeah, he's like a book, in the speedway with the setups, with everything. He know a lot of things, and he know a lot of things about the engines, and he's very smart guy.
He is. He's really good, and he's helped us both a ton. So
yeah.
Just to finish off on your trip to California, there you had one more incident on that trip.
Yeah.
Which is a part of the high school that even my wife was not very happy with the high school education.
I still have
a scar.
I still have this memory on my leg. Yeah, that was was fun because I was like 17 years old then,
Right.
something like this, and you know, in Poland you can start drinking faster than in the States or whatever.
Well, in Europe you only got to be 18, and I
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
in Poland you got to be 17 plus.
Yeah, 17 is already you can be after few parties. So so we finished the cow pow meeting.
Cow Palace or cow?
You know, this meeting after like every Fast and Fridays.
I haven't done that myself, but I know
Okay.
what you're. The one up at Gary Davis. House.
Gary Davis.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In Gary David house. Yeah, that was funny because we finished meeting on pit bikes, and we go to the room, and we take few drinks. We change. We come back with the shorts, you know, flip flops, and we decide so we will start racing now because we feel better now.
Of course.
So
More relaxed.
yeah, so that was so crazy because Janusz Kodzie, he had few crashes and he scratched his knee, like hands, you know. He had some blood, you know, on the t-shirts. I was like, he was looking like after 3 big crashes,
Been in the wars.
but still on the gas. We were still racing, you know. Gary Davis was like on his 85 quad, specially made for the like filming, you know, like following us, and yeah, everything was like under control.
Until.
And yeah, and I tried pass Janusz Kodzie, and he grabbed my hand and like just pushed me or something like that, and I crashed, but like I make it like circles, and my foot stuck between front wheel and
The exhaust.
engine,
Oh right.
and I was landing on the bike, so I couldn't get up, and I was a little bit, you know, after some painkillers, so I didn't feel like 100% of this pain. Yeah, but I got up after few seconds, and I looked to my leg, and I was like, yeah, I feel that it's not easy, you know. That was not something small, so I ran to the apartment and taking shower straight away, and jump to the bed. But when I wake up next day, I was like, my face was like changing color every 5 seconds from green to red, white, and I looked to my leg and it was like burned, you know. It was like,
Oh man.
my whole almost whole leg was like,
Like up the back of your knee or something.
yeah,
right? Or-
yeah, that was really nasty, you know. And that was beginning of my holiday in States, in California.
Yeah, it was like within the first
Yeah.
couple of days, right?
Yeah, that was I think 4th day.
What was the 4th day, right?
So, and I have so many plans, you know. I have so many plans for this holiday. But yeah, next week I was walking like a really old man, you know. And
Oh, I just remember when you guys came back down to the south, and you came and you're like, yeah, you were limping really bad, and it's like, what's up? And then they showed your leg, like, whoa, that's a nasty burn, you know. And I remember Jenny, my wife, was just like, you gotta go to the hospital. And I'm like, no, he'll be okay. Like, she's like, no, you gotta go to the hospital. Now we gave him some, you know, paracetamol or something, and you ended up high school riding it out.
yeah, and the funny things was like in Poland, if someone see like some different person like hurts, you know, they don't come and ask like what happened, you know, like they don't try to show the people they look to you, you know, like you know, but in California when we go anywhere. Like people was like looking to me and was like, "Hey, dude, what happened?" Like I was like, scared. I don't speak English, anything. Like I was like,
Oh, nothing.
nothing.
It's nothing really.
Yeah, so that was pretty
That's
funny, and yeah, I have this.
Do you have any photos of it?
I need to check my laptop. Probably I can find some photos from this trip.
I could use some of those for the social media.
Yeah, I will use it if I have. I need to find it. Yeah, yeah, but that was my biggest actually my all accident on the bikes, on whatever happened with my body.
Yeah.
Everything happened not in speedway, I broke my collarbone on motocross. I burned my leg,
We'll knock on the wood.
yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
But yeah, speedway is safe.
Yeah. That's what Raf always says. See, you hear all these crazy things happen. Speeder's not so dangerous, is it? I'm like, oh, right. Okay, I got you. Yeah, you're right. He's got another way to look at it.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's true. And so far, in your whole career, so far, any injuries you've had have been outside of the sport itself.
Yeah, that's true. I used to have little bit broken collarbone, but I was still riding, so I don't even do anything with that. On my left knee, how do you call my ligament?
Ligaments.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I destroyed a little bit my ligaments, but this not.
I remember that too.
Yeah, does not happen anything with my. This don't stop me with any meetings and anything. So, yeah, lucky to this point.
Nowadays, you for sure luck is good. Little Raf luck or whatever you get, high luck. But I mean, nowadays you with your program, I know that you do a lot of training with Mariusz Jaslinski and who's a kickboxer.
Yeah, Muay Thai, kickboxing, 7 times world champion.
He knows his stuff.
Yeah.
And I've known this guy from my days back in Wrocław, and he was working with the team, and not just a complete animal, but an all around good person, and which a lot of these guys seem to be. And his I'm trying to think the best word, but the way, the discipline that he teaches people like you, as well as being ready and being in good shape and on your toes. When he walks around, he's ready all the time. He walks on his tippy toes, and you can just see him. And yet what an awesome guy to have in your corner. He's worked with so many riders in the Yara Campbell as well, and nowadays he's with you more or less all the time. But those kind of things, you can see that also must help in most circumstances. You're in great shape, you take care of yourself, and if you do fall, hope you don't, but if you do fall, these kind of things always help to prevent injuries, which is
that's true. This is what happened in speedway now. Everything changed. Everyone is like really in good shape, and everyone have similar engines and everything. So you need to be. I think you need to be ready with everything. Yeah, like. We are athletes, so we need to live like athletes. And this is Mariusz Jaslinski is another person in my corner who working with me from my beginning.
Mm-hmm.
First time when I come to Wrocław Club, he was already coach. So even when I was younger, we trained together. Even when I moved to Tarnów, I was still going to his town and train with him. Mm-hmm. And now he's with me for almost full time, and we talk about a lot of different trainings and everything. He is like open big book about trainings, uh, with food, with everything, yeah, and he's amazing person, when I look to him and when I saw like he's 7-time world champion, and he's such a normal person, really good person. Yeah, he's like big inspiration for me, and he don't need to like check if I do everything, because he teach me a lot from this all of these years back. He teach me a lot, and this is very normal to me to wake up in the morning, take my dogs, go running. This is like this is what I like,
Sure.
and I like this this kind of life, so
Yeah, it's working pretty good for you.
It's working good, yeah, that's true.
For sure. And now you've come off your best season ever in the Grand Prix. We're getting ready to start another great year. You and I both, going head to head,
Yeah.
and yet, we're all buddies in the group. We're all friends. We race against each other constantly, and obviously you and I have we share way more than most in our cases as far as what we're doing and how we learn things, and yet we know that when it comes head to head, it's going to be our determination, our luck, and our skill on the day that's going to be the deciding. 'Cause like you said, engines and everything, everyone's got their own program that they run, but when they come to the races, it's the guy who puts it all together on the day, and even you know that as well as I do. So we always look forward to this, and it doesn't matter who you're lining up to. I just know that when I line up against you, of course I want to beat you, but you're the kind of guy who I always pull up alongside, and I'm like, I'm excited to race, because I feel like I know everything about him. I know what he's going to do, and I know what's going to happen, so I can plan. Whether I make the start or I miss the start, I kind of know I'm going to have to be on my game just to hang with him, let alone to try to get by him. But for me, that's the motivation I need to push hard. And I don't have to think about what if this or what if that. I just think, how can I stay with him? How can I beat him out of the start, first of all, if you don't trick me into touching the tapes first, which you've done at least once or twice. So,
I have not so good clutch. Maybe that's my bike was like maybe moving a little bit, but.
So is that why I caught you in here looking for clutch plates? You're trying to work in on the new thing.
That's a very secret,
Right.
secret thing,
Yeah. So that's the secret hidden thing here at the high school.
Yeah.
We're sitting in Rafal Haj Speedway Parts workshop doing this, because the Real 45 podcast is all about being raw and real and wherever we are. So this is pretty cool. We're sitting in here. We've got a great scenery of a lot of eye candy for us Speedway dudes.
And we have grill on the next side of the wall.
Yeah.
So we'll finish this and we go get some good food, for sure.
We're gonna do that, and I'm gonna finish it by saying, all this high school and all these things that we've done together, helping Maciej over the years, or trying. I always, people give us a lot of credit for helping Maciej and doing all these things, but I will say we've not done that much for him. We've given him some tools. We've showed him a few things, and the kid has grasped it, and he's worked with it, and he comes back for more, and he asks the questions. And now, the last 2 years, and most recently, Luke Becker, but two American guys. I've always said I wish Maciej, I love this guy, and I treat him like he's my little brother, he's my kid, and I just wish he's an American. But last year, Brock Nickel came over and spent some time with us in Europe in the beginning of the year, and Maciej was good enough to offer to let Brock stay with him, and he ended up being with you for 5 weeks or something.
Yeah, something like that.
He was with you for a long time. So Brock, I couldn't, when Maciej offered, you're like, this is like too good to be true, because he's going to go into your school, your training program, your lifestyle, and you know how to work hard, train hard, and have fun, which you have to have fun, you know. So we're going to do all these things, and we're going to have a good time too.
Yeah, of course.
So you guys did all that stuff, and it didn't work out good for Brock last year. And to get him over, we wanted to get him over here to stay, but it didn't work out. So he ended up back home, had one of his best years ever in the national championship.
Yeah.
So somewhere along the line, everything paid off for him, and then a shoulder injury recently. But Luke Becker had reached out to me earlier in the winter, and between him and his good friend and sponsor, this Thomas Borge guy, they wanted to get Luke over here, and we worked hard to get him a place in England in the beginning of the season, but because of his broken leg or ankle last year, he missed. He was leading the series and then ended up breaking his leg and missed a round or his foot and missed out on a top 4 position, which what you need to get qualified to
get a visa.
Visa for England. So he couldn't. He was ready to go to Edinburgh. It was all done, and he got declined. So a shame. So we went back to the same concept we tried with Brock last year, and the more time I spend with Luke, the more I get this same impression. You know, he's a very quiet kid, but very determined. His sponsor and family friend Thomas is very down to earth, and just, can you help him out? Let us know what we can do. We will help to support the thing, but we just want to give the kid a chance, and he really wants to do this, and you know that's all it took. And Luke has shown so much interest as well, as Brock did last year too, and it just seems that the way things are in the position we're in now, it's starting to open doors. But Luke has worked really hard. You opened the door to him too, again this time. He's been staying at Raf's place and spending a lot of time with you on and off. And the look in his eye and the things that he says to me, the fact that he still looks at you with like starstruck, that he gets, you know, I can see when you walk in the door, he gets like, his shoulders come up and you lift him, you know. And it's really bitching because the same way, you know, you're an idol for me in many ways, and I look at him and I see him looking at you and some of the people that he's been around. Like, you can see, I want to be there. I want to be where they are. I just want to do this. And he doesn't say much more than that, but the look and the expression on him says it all.
He's quite a kid, yeah.
Very.
But like you said, he's very determined, and this is the same like works for me, you know. I get opportunity from you, and I know how important is that. And if anything I can help him, I always will show him what I do, what is good for me, how we prepare in Poland, because speedway in Poland is a little bit different than in States.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so if you're racing in some club, you need to be ready all the time and do a lot of different things, not only racing on motorcycles. So I'm ready to show him everything what he need, and yeah, that's cool. He want to, you know, come from nice country, nice hot country, to small Poland in Europe and race on speedway bike. So that's amazing. And if he make such a big move and such a long fly from California, you know, he needs someone here to who will help him, and he have good people around like you and Raf. So now is only everything is on his hands, and if he will be enough determined, I think he can be really good rider.
For sure.
Yeah.
And we sent him to the high school.
Yeah.
And he gets the magic touch. So, you know, the kid, the kid's got he's got a lot. I'm pretty sure he's gonna do all he can to show us that he wants to do it. So we're stoked, and I'm more stoked because you gave me a lot of this time, and like I said, I was looking forward to this podcast. And
I was very scared. Actually, you know, like
you looked really scared. Really scared.
How I told you before, but yeah, that's a really cool thing, and I need to do my homework with all of the podcasts what you make before, and I really need to listen whole podcast with Chris Holder. What up, dude? And so yeah, that's really
fun.
cool thing, and
Oh, thanks, man.
I hope you guys will grow and be big. So.
Oh yeah, someday you won't even be able to get on the podcast. We're gonna be so big.
I hope next year we will still have chance to
We'll see.
get some 5 minutes to talk.
We'll see if we can fit you in. Yeah. Well, everybody, you can see why I love this guy and why we are good buddies, and why I have so much respect for him. So this is just a part of magic, and you're going to see a lot of magic to come in the future. So thanks, dude.
Thanks for inviting me, and I'm really glad I can do that with you. So yeah, peace.
Yeah, peace out. Thanks, bro. I'll see you soon.
Welcome to Real 45 with Stefan and Greg Hancock. We vibe out and have real talk, so tune in and check this out. Yeah, today is a new day. Let's seize it now and get hype. We talking about our careers, our family, and just life. Yeah, share my story with you. Inspiration like every day. Real 45, we gon' keep it live. I keep episodes on replay. Hey, Real 45. Yeah, Real 45. Show them how we do it, man. Yeah.